arrow. Now, the quiver is the vagina, the arrow is the penis. Gets every arrow. You figure it. Think Solomon didn't know? He had 1,000 women. It is what it is. While we have to be in order, in following the way of the word of the Most High. But we'll be challenged with things that are really a disadvantage to us. While we have to follow the lead that the Most High has given us, so we don't fall short, men, women, or children. But the world is set up to have you go contrary to the way the Most High would have us to be. And we don't want to do that because it's not something that will be beneficial in the long run. Ecclesiastes 26 and 24. A dishonest woman contendeth shame. So a dishonest woman, she's going to bring shame to the house. But an honest woman will reverence her husband. You know? An honest woman is going to reverence her husband. A shameless woman shall be counted as a dog. A woman she have no shame about herself, she gonna be counted as a dog. But she that is shamefaced will fear the Most High, gonna be instructed and follow what it is that's necessary to change, become a new creature, be born again, be someone that anyone else that knew you in the past will look at you and say, wow, and commend you. And we all can change. And we all have to change. We don't have no choice but to change if we want to please the Most High. Ecclesiasticus 25 and 24. Of the woman came the beginning of sin through Eve. Of the woman came the beginning of sin. And through her we all die. You see, you read that, and some of you women out there probably saying, yeah, but Adam knew better too. Adam should have knew better. But the scripture's saying, of the woman came the beginning of sin. That means nobody has sinned until Eve did what she did. And wasn't that power. That woman want that power. So we said because of her we all die, so let's look at it. Because the Most High said, the day that you eat of the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you shall surely die. And And she knew it. Adam told her. Genesis 3 and 4. Look what the serpent told her. And the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. First lie told right there. Because Eve knew. In verse 2 it said, and the woman said unto the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but of the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, which is the tree of knowledge of good and evil, the Most High have said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. So she knew she wasn't supposed to eat of it. She knew she wasn't supposed to deal with this lie that he's telling her. When he said, and the serpent said unto the woman, you shall not surely die. You're not going to die. In other words, the Most High don't know what he's talking about. The Most High lied to you. You're going to believe that the Most High lied to them? They in paradise. They in the Garden of Eden. Verse 5, for the Most High does know that in the day ye eat thereof, and we hear because it said, oh, the woman came to the beginning of sin, and through her we all die. Now she just said it. Neither shall you touch it, lest ye die. The tree of knowledge of good and evil. Verse 5, for the Most High does know that in the day ye eat of thereof, then your eyes shall be opened, and ye shall be as gods, knowing good and evil. See, that's why it says ye are gods. We are as little g's. That's why you see it's a little g. You're going to be as gods. So we are gods, little g's, knowing good and evil, it says, right? And when the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes, and a tree of to be desired to make one wise, she took of the fruit thereof, and did eat, and gave also unto her husband with her, and he did eat. And the eyes of them both were open, and they knew that they were exposed exposed to wickedness, to evil. And they sewed fig trees together and made them aprons. See? So, from that point on, the judgment to Eve was, verse 16, unto the woman he said, I will greatly multiply thy sorrow and thy conception, meaning she going to have sorrow in life, and she going to have pain having a baby. The contraction's going to be hurting. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. See, in sorrow, you're going to bring forth children. You can say whatever, but you can say, okay, if you don't feel it during that time, they're going to bring you some sorrow in your life. Them children going to bring you some sorrow. In sorrow thou shalt bring forth children. Children going to come through and bring sorrow to you. And thy desire shall be to thy husband. So a woman's desire should be to her husband, and he shall rule over thee. Well, that's happening there. This is order from the Most High to all women and to the man. And unto Adam, verse 17, he said, because thou hast hearkened, meaning listening to the voice of thy wife, and have eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Curses the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. Thorns also and thistles shall it bring forth for thee, and thou shalt eat the herb of the field. In the sweat of thy face shalt thou eat bread, till thou return unto the ground. For out of it was thou taken, for dust thou art, and unto dust shalt thou return. See? So you see, we die because of woman. And you know, I know a lot of you out there get an attitude because you exalt the woman more so than yourself as a man. But it is what it is. I mean, this is what we read in the word of the Most High. Listen, go to 1 Timothy 2. Verse 9. In like manner also that women adorn themselves in modest apparel. That means not being all flashy and looking like the men do. Modest apparel. Looking good, but, not overdoing it. With shamefacedness and sobriety. Not being no drunk. Not, being focused on his word. And what they're supposed to do in being, shamefacedly means having humility. Not with braided hair or gold. Braided hair, ooh, that's a big one there. I can't go by that. I can't deal with that. See, women braiding their hair all the time, right? So you're in sin. To say, not with braided hair. What is the Most High shoot through the fourth dimension? Here you got to sit up there with braided hair. Not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. I mean, it says modest apparel. Then it come back and remind you, said costly array, costly garments. But which becometh women professing righteousness with good works, keeping the laws of the Most High. That's what's good, remember? Romans 7:12. The law is good. Good works. See, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. Silence. Listening. See, you can't listen, you can't learn if you run in your mouth. That's why I say, let the woman learn in silence with all subjection. But I suffer not a woman to teach. One is supposed to be teaching or trying to find a way to teach in their own little way. I suffer not a woman to teach, so ain't supposed to be no women pastors. Women ain't supposed to be trying to teach this Bible in any way, shape, or form. Because you could teach, if your man grabs it, from whatever you're saying, you teach him. But I suffer not a woman to teach nor to usurp authority over the man. Ooh, that's a big one there, boy. Usurping authority over the man. He gonna do what I want him to do. But to be in silence. Ooh, remember what it said? In Ecclesiasticus 26:14, a silent and loving woman is a gift of the Most High, and there is nothing so much worth than a mind well instructed. Wow. It's beautiful. See how they go together? But I suffer not a woman to teach, nor to usurp authority over the man. It's like telling the man what to do. But to be in silence. For Adam was first formed, then Eve. And Adam was not deceived, but the woman being deceived was in the transgression. Notwithstanding, she shall be saved in childbearing. Remember, it told her she's going to be in sorrow, bringing forth her children, childbearing, if, that's a condition, they continue in faith and charity and holiness and sobriety, with sobriety. Keeping the laws of the Most High, being focused and not drinking much wine, as we started off. In Titus, not drinking much wine. You have a job, it's a big job. When you look at our nation and the job that is put upon us, coming from gross darkness into this marvelous light, everybody has something they need to be doing. Everyone. And observing the truth and allowing someone else to observe the truth that you know. It's order. Go to Wisdom of Solomon 3. We just about gonna wind it up. Wisdom of Solomon, the 3rd chapter, and verse 11. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and 11. Yeah. Speedily was he taken away. Mashaka shall be taken away from him speedily. 33 years old. Lest that wickedness should alter his understanding, or deceit beguile his soul. You hear that? Just like Adam got food, he might have been food. He was, they was after him. Women too. All the miracles he's done. For the bewitching and naughtiness does obscure things that are honest. See? Bewitching and naughtiness does obscure things that are honest. And the wandering of concupiscences does undermine the simple mind. That's like, a heavy need of sexual desires and so forth. It overminds the simple mind, You simple, then you can be taken by the wiles of the devil that comes in people. Gets into people and have them operate a certain way. They have you fall. That's what it's all about. You try to see who you can devour. And he gets into the minds of others. Might get into the minds of a man. Next thing you know, that man is talking to this woman. She's married. Next thing you know, she's laying with him. She done commit adultery. Or the man, she a married woman and desire her. And get sloppy seconds or thirds or whatever. She might be doing somebody else too. Nasty. But that's the world we in. That's why it says, the simple mind. He being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. Mashiach Shai being made perfect in a short time, fulfilled a long time. But we're still talking about him in the volume of the book, in the conversation and so forth. For his soul pleased the Most High. Therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked. Hear that? That's what we're crying to. At least I'm crying to the Most High to take us away from among the wicked. And Job 9:24 says the earth is given to the hand of the wicked. He covered the faces of the judges thereof. If not, wherein who is he? But you got those that's following the way. The wicked going to die with the wicked, going to fall with the wicked, going to be killed with the wicked. Because they cannot get over what the word of the Most High is saying. They rather have the way of the wicked. And they thought patterns, be like, wow, how you think like that? Because you've been Edomanized, straight up. Esau the end of the world. Jacob's beginning of it that follow. Esau gonna be operating through his religions, his politics, his educational system, and everything else they can bring about to have you not follow righteousness. They know their fate. It's written in their fate. The elite and so forth. So you think they're going to show you the right way? No, they're going to show you the wrong way so you can fall with them. And all the other nations. And 2/3 of our people that are Israelites, as it is written. Got a remnant of every nation. That's going to go to the work for us in the kingdom. And 1/3 of the 12 tribes of Israel are going to be set up to be in righteousness for the rest of their life. 1/3 though. That's it. That's why it says many gonna perish, more gonna perish than those that gonna be saved. The righteous man scarcely shall be saved. The righteous scarcely gonna be saved. For his soul pleased the Most High. Verse 14. Therefore hasted he to take him away from among the wicked. What wicked is it talking about? Who was ruling? The Romans, the so-called Italian Caucasians, the ones that killed him. Who gave Mashiach Shai to the Romans? Wicked Israelites. You can hear him. I can say, crucify him, crucify him, give us the murderer, Barabbas. For our power. Hollering and screaming against him. But it pleased the Most High to have it go down. Because that's what he's supposed to do. That's what he came to do. To die for the sins of the 12 tribes of Israel. He fulfilled that as the ultimate sacrifice. Well, let me, I want to let's look at the power of the woman. Let's see. As it talks about it, then we're going to close out on it. I spoke about it earlier. Let's read about the story of it. We're going to look at First Ezra's, the 4th chapter, and like I said, we're going to find out what was mighty. So don't give your strength to women, right? So let's look at what it says in 1 Ezra 4, and we're going to restart at verse 13. It says, then the third, who has spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. So he said he spoke of women and the truth, which is, the truth. In Psalms 119, 142, it says, thy righteousness is an everlasting righteousness, and thy law is the truth, right? So listen. That's why Mashiach Shai said in St. John 14 and 6, to understand what he's saying, say, I am the way, the truth, and the life, right? I'm the way to show you how to follow the truth that's going to lead to everlasting life. No man coming to the Father but by me. So, 1 Ezra 4 and 13 says, then the third, who has spoken of women and of the truth, this was Zerubbabel, began to speak. O ye men, is it not the great king? O ye men, it is not the great king, Salakia, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it then that ruleth them? Or have the lordship over them? Are they not women? Ain't that something? Are they not women? That's why I go to Isaiah 3 and 11. No, 12. Isaiah 3 and 12. As for my people, the Israelites, children are their oppressors, and women rule over them. O my people, they which lead thee. If a woman ruling over you, they leading you. They allow the woman to lead them. O my people, they which lead thee have caused thee to err, according to these scriptures, and destroy the way of thy paths. Myself, I say, I'm the way. See, they destroy the way to everlasting life. So it says, going back to 1 Ezra 4 and verse 14. O ye men, it is not the great king, nor the multitude of men, neither is it wine that excelleth. Who is it that then that ruleth them, or hath the lordship over them? Are they not women? Women have borne the king, and all the people that bear rule by sea and land. Even of them came from a woman. And they nourished them up that planted the vineyards. They nourished them up, fed them, the ones that planted the vineyards. From whence the wine cometh, from whence the grapes of the vineyards is made into wine. These also make garments for men. Women make garments for men. These bring glory unto men. And without women cannot men be. That's right. Without women, a man couldn't exist. Yeah. And if men have gathered together gold and silver or any other righteous thing, do they not love a woman which is comely, which is beautiful, in favor and beauty? Yeah. And letting all those things go, do they not gape and even with open mouth fix their eyes fast on her? She looking sharp and nice and beautiful. And have not all men more desire unto her than unto silver or gold or any goodly thing whatsoever? It's the woman. A man leaving his own father that brought him up in his own country and cleave unto his wife. See, cleave unto that wife. Leave his father, his own country, go to wherever that woman is, his wife. Cleave unto his wife. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife. And remember neither father, nor mother, nor country. Say he's with that woman. He's with his woman. Don't remember father or mother or country where he came from. He sticketh not to spend his life with his wife. And remember neither father, nor mother, nor country. By this also ye must know that women have dominion over you. Do ye not labor and toil and give and bring all to the woman? Yeah, a man taketh his sword and goeth his way to rob and to steal, to sail upon the sea and upon rivers, and looketh upon a lion and goeth into darkness. And when he hath stolen, spoiled, and robbed, he bringeth it to his love, bringeth back to his woman, his wife. Wherefore a man loveth his wife better than father or mother. Yeah, many there be that have run out of their wits, ran out of their minds for women, and become servants for their sakes, become slaves behind a woman. Many also have perished, have erred and sinned for women. And now, do ye not believe me? Is not the king great in his power? Do not all regions fear to touch him? Yet did I see him and Abami, the king's concubine, the daughter of the admirable Barticus, sitting at the right hand of the king, his concubine, sitting there on the right side of the king, and taking the crown from the king's head, taking the crown off the king's head, and setting it upon her own head. Take the crown off the king's head and put it on her own head. She also struck the king with her left hand, smacked him with her left hand. Listen, and yet for all this, the king gaped and gazed upon her with open mouth. If she laughed upon him, he laughed also. But if she took any displeasure at him, the king was fain to flatter, that she might be reconciled to him again, that she would, show favor to him, like she loved him. Not, if she didn't do that, she was going to look sad. He was going to look sad. O ye men, how can it be? But woman should be strong, seeing they do thus. Then the king and the princes looked one upon another. So he began to speak of the truth. They looked at each other. They ain't saying that, they just looked at each other. That's true. He giving them facts. This is what happened. O ye men, are not women strong? Great is the earth, high is the heaven, swift is the sun in its course. For he compasses the heavens round about, and fetches his course again to his own place in one day. Is he not great that maketh these things? Therefore great is the truth, and stronger than all things. All the earth calleth upon the truth, and the heaven blesses it. All works shake and tremble at it, and with it is no unrighteous thing. Wine is wicked, the King is wicked. Women are wicked. All the children of men are wicked. And such are all their wicked works. And there is no truth in them. In their unrighteousness also they shall perish. As for the truth, it endureth and is always strong. It liveth and conquereth forevermore. With her there is no accepting of persons or rewards, but she doth doeth the things that are just, and refrain from all unjust and wicked things. And all men do well like of her works. Neither in her judgment is any unrighteousness, and she is the strength, kingdom, power, and majesty of all ages. Blessed be the Most High power of truth. And with that, he held his peace, silent. And all the people then shouted and said, Great is truth and mighty above all things. See? Great is the truth and mighty above all things. But you see what was next. You see all that time that he spent on what? Women. Straight up, so just food for the spirit. And with that, I'll say shalom.